Hello, everyone. Take a look at this picture for a moment. Do you recognize her? This is Catherine Schweitzer, the first woman who ever ran the Boston Marathon back in 1967. She registered to the race using only her initials, so they wouldn't know she was a woman. Why? Because back then, people believed that women were too weak to run marathons. When the race manager saw her, he tried to shove her away, and she literally had to fight for her place in the race. This picture then became a symbol of a time in which women were not fully able to take part in the world of sport. And like Catherine Schweitzer, more women fought for their equal right to play sport. And while many people agreed, they also worried that women are not able to compete against men. And the solution was separate women's sport. And if they can compete against men, they should compete against each other. Legally, this idea is known as separate but equal. And you know something? It worked. In the years that followed, the number of women and girls in sport competitions skyrocketed every year. Whereas in the 1900s, in the Olympics, there were only 2.2% female competitors. In the last Olympics, in 2024, we achieved full gender parity with 50% female competitors. Now, some people could stop here and say, yes, we did it. We achieved gender equality in sport. But as a legal scholar who studies gender inequality, I know that often separate means not equal. Imagine this. Your daughter gets onto the school bus, and the driver tells her, girls can only sit in the back. You'd be shocked, right? That's something we left behind years ago. In 1954, the Supreme Court of the United States said that separate is not equal. And it said it about race segregation in schools. Could that also be true for sport? I mean, yes, we have come a long way. More women and girls play sport and compete. But does women's sport really is equal? Women's sport is not equal. They get less than 6% of sport media coverage. They get less than 1% of global sponsorship money. And prizes? In the last FIFA World Cup, the men team got 42 million, and the women team got only 4.3. And here's the real problem. Less media leads to less sponsorships, which lead to less training and weaker performances. And then someone comes along and says, see, women are not as good. That's the proof. But that's not proof. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, I can hear the little voices in your head saying, but men are bigger, stronger, faster. Well, that's true on average. But does every sport depend on strength or speed or muscle mass? What about archery? What about golf? What about motorsports or chess? Take the story of Zhang Shang, the Chinese skeet shooter. So she participated in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, and she won the gold medal after she beat all the men. What they did afterwards was ban women from competing, and she had to retire. Is that biology? No, it's also culture. So, what's the solution? First thing we need to realize is that not all sports are the same. They differ by many factors, like their key skill. Some sports are about strength, and others are about precision or coordination. Their objectives are different. Recreational sport is about health and fun, but competitive sport is about fame and fortune. Their level of risk is different, whereas some sports involve aggressive contact. Others are individual or against the clock. So why treat all of them the same when it comes to sex separation? After this, we can also try to offer different integration solutions. We can think about integrated training, but leave competitions separated. We can also try to control the number of men and women on the field, like mixed double tennis. We can also be bolder and try to group athletes differently according to their skill level or different criteria like their height or weight. In my own work, I try to build a model that tailors integration solution into the characteristics of each sport. This is how my desktop looks like. The goal is not to abolish women's sport. It's to rethink when separation helps us and when it's holding us back. Now, some of you may think, why care so much about sport? It's only sport. But just like that bus story, what happens on the field reflects what happens outside of it, in the workplace, in classrooms, in politics. And if we can challenge our fundamental thinking in a field so visible and physical as sport, then perhaps this challenge could spread far beyond sport. Thank you.